Good evening. Welcome to our Amud Yom Shir. We are in Maseches Shabbos, Daf Pei Vav Amud Beis, at the very top of the page. One of the rare moments when we actually are at just the first word of the Amud. But in order to summarize what we've been doing till now, right, which we have to, so I'm going to refer to the chart now. This year's for the Atzlocha of Klal Yisrael, Yilon Nishmas of Emor Menachem and Akiva. The question we have at hand is, how long, if a shichva zera comes out of the body of a woman, how long after it came out of her body is it still metame? Yeah, or how long not after it came out of the body? How long after tashmish, if she emitted the zera, is it still metame? Not how long after it came out. The woman had tashmish whichever day, and the zera was in her body for X amount of days. How many days pass when the zera is still called active, and therefore it's still metame upon coming out, the woman? So we had three opinions here. We had Ablozo ben Azariah that said it's 2 days, or even a day plus. In this chart, let's say the woman has to be Torah on Leil Shabbos, as we'll see later. Then, if the woman had tashmish any point on Thursday before Shkia, she has a bit of a Thursday post tashmish. She has it in her body, and it's a shtickle day. Then Friday, that's one full day. Leil Shabbos, she's good to go. And if the zera comes out after her tvila, nothing happened. She was toivel. The zera comes out again. Who cares? According to Rabbi Shmuel, well, it's exactly the same, but one more day. It's 2 and 3 days, which is really 2 point something. Same idea. Okay, Rabbi Akiva says, I don't care about part of the day. It has to be 5 full oines, which means she has to, if she wants to be Torah on Friday night, she has to have 5 units of oina. Oina is either day or night, right? She has to stop the tashmish Wednesday morning, should be the last time she has tashmish, and then you have a chart. Then if she has 5 full onos of the zera in her body, and then it came out, she goes to mikveh Friday night, and then it comes out afterwards, then it's not effective, because after 5 onos, that's when we say that it's an all clear sign. Okay, that was up until now. This reflected another machloikes, which we're going to anyhow repeat today, so I'm not going to repeat now, about when were Bnei Israel warned about stopping to have tashmish, which is Yemei Prisha, right? How many days? Did Hashem tell Bnei Israel to stop the tashmish on Thursday, prior to Matan Torah, or on Wednesday? That's the machloikas, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, you support the opinions here of either one of those three, depending on status.
it's true. So Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva, in that respect, they both believe in the same idea in general, that Hashem told them to stop and be poirish, stay away from wives on Wednesday. Rabbi Akiva says it was Dafka Wednesday morning. Rabbi Shmuel said Wednesday whenever you want. That's the difference. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah follows the opinion that said that the warning came on Thursday, like Rabbanon. Everyone agrees that they went to mikveh Leil Shabbos, or could have gone, as we'll see later. And Shabbos morning, whoa, that was a big day. Shabbos morning, they went to Har Sinai. Yeah, they went to Shul, Mount Sinai. They went to Har Sinai. Weiter. Now let's see Pevav Amud Beis. Correct the Gemara. The Gemara now has a question. The Hatzvula Yom Ninhu. Whichever way you look at it, if they went to mikveh Friday night, right? And that's when they went to mikveh, out of the mikveh, the Tvul Yom. In other words, we know that to eat tumah and kolshik and kodshim, a person who went to mikveh, not good enough. Ubo hashemesh v'toher. You can eat meiser. Thank you. Okay, good. Shkoyach, thanks. You can eat chulin if you're chaver. But for truma kodshim, you have to wait till nighttime. Now, if they're table Friday night, they have to wait till Motzei Shabbos. That's the next shkia. Yeah. They go to table Friday night, 10 o'clock at night, let's say. So they didn't have Erev Shemesh, obviously, till the following Shkia and Seis, right? They're still beginning of Brochus. So there's still Tvulim. The Gemara assumes that if Torah requires Tahara, Kol Shekin, not Tvulim. I got a question by email, so people are in Zoom. What did we say yesterday, B'Shem Tosas? Why was there B'chlal a concern that Bnei Yisrael should be Torah? There's no tumah v'tahara before Matan Torah. Says Taisves, this kind of tumah to do with tashmish, tashmish is kalus roish. They can't be in the state of mind of kalus roish in Matan Torah. That's what Baal Keri, the whole Sugi and Brachas, Lechatchila should go to mikveh, before he starts learning davening, ideally, as more common b'chasidim, but not only, because the state of tashmish, kalus roish, get out of that mindset and go to mindset of Torah and Tefillah. That's why that did apply, although other tumas of Dars did not. So that says there Tmei Mesi, Mitzrayim, that was okay. The question is Tvulayim. Abaye Barabin and Rav Chinin Barabin answer the question. They both say Nitna Torah Tvulayim. Sorry to disappoint you. Yes, the Torah is given to Tvulayim. In other words, Tvulayim is not an issue because Tvulayim is only written regarding kochim. The Chiddush of Torah is that the person cannot eat truma or kochim only b'harav shemesh. The person is of himself is Torah. He's Torah enough for Kabbalah Torah. So if they were Torah Friday night, that is okay because they don't have to be Mu'arev Shemesh. It can be Tvul Yoim. Really, this is a question for the next stage. It's not the Havim Namaskar is not so clear. What's the question? What's the answer? Now you're going to get the real deal. Yosef Mareimar Bekomer Lo Lehosh Maitza. Mareimar was sitting down and learning this sugya. Ravina told Mareimar, Nitna ka'omat or Re'uya ka'omat, which means, was it really historically so? Was the Torah given to Tvul Yoim? Were they really going to mikveh those women Friday night, Leil Shabbos, right? It did go then, and they were really Tvulos Yom Shabbos morning? Or was it potentially, conceptually okay to be Tvul Yoim? Or maybe not. The answer is no. It was suitable. It was halakhically okay, which means really they went to mikveh Friday afternoon, like every good Jew, but this women. Yeah, they went to mikveh on Friday before Leil Shabbos to avoid being Tvul Yom. It's better not to be Tvul Yom. However, Lu Yitzuyar that right, and hopefully they didn't have Zera coming out later. Because if they have Zera coming out on Friday, they have to go again Leil Shabbos. However, if Lu Yitzuyar, they had the Zera coming out, they could have gone Friday night again. Friday night, after mikveh, if Zera comes out, they're good to go. They're good to go. The Gemara's question, Tvul Yom, according to Rashi, has a much deeper dimension. Because Rashi says, I'm not reading Rashi inside because we're pressed for time, there's much more today. The question is, wait a second, if they went on Friday and they had to go on Friday, then you're missing one day. Everyone, look at the chart. Whichever way you look at it, one thing everyone agrees on, right? Everyone agrees that they have to be, that the deadline, the cutoff point where everyone, the finishing line has to be Friday night, right? Either it's Thursday or whenever Wednesday or Wednesday morning. Everyone knows Friday night, they have to be cleaned, and even if the Zera comes out, it will be okay. But if you want to tell me that they had to be Tovel on Friday had to be Tovel not to be Tvul Yom, they're missing a day. Then everyone's missing a day in the Cheshbon. And says the Gemara, no, don't worry. There's no problem, Tvul Yom. Yes, they went to the mikveh Friday night, Leil Shabbos, and it's not a problem. Either Tvul Yom, so what? They weren't really in reality, but if they were, even if they would have been, it's okay. The kids are back to square one in a good way. Friday night, as Shabbos comes in, right? Even if the woman sees the Zera coming out again, nothing happened, right? Because Friday night, if it came out, there's been enough time already, either 2 days, partially, one and something, either 3 non-full days, or 5 onus, right? But when Friday night comes, all is good. Okay, fine. Now continues the Gemara. Yeah. Continues the Gemara. Prak the Gemara, Velitvelu beini shimshi, velikablu Torah beini shimshi. Why couldn't they receive the Torah on Leil Shabbos? Why couldn't do it on Leil Shabbos? Which means, the question is as follows. According to Rashi, Mechlokas Rashi Tosfos, let's follow Rashi. According to Rabbi Akiva, right, that says Dafka 5 oinos, Makbid on 5 oinos, right? There's stam, you have 1 oino that's extra. Why did you waste the oino of Friday night? If only it is 5 oinos, right? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu tell them Wednesday morning, stop Tashmish right here in their cold turkey, stop Tashmishim Wednesday morning. Give them the whole of Wednesday still for Shalom Bais, for Tashmish. Wednesday afternoon late, right? Have Thursday, Friday, Leil Shabbos, right? According to you, the Torah, Mitzat Tumah V'Tara, the Torah could have been given Shabbos morning. Yes. Elamai, maybe you're wrong, Rabbi Akiva. Maybe really we need 6 oines, like Chachomim. As we'll see later on, there is an opinion called Chachomim requires 6 oines. Yes, we'll see that too. It's not in the chart, right? According to Rabbi Akiva, it's time wasted 12 hours, right? Let them, right, start the whole business Wednesday afternoon, right? Have Thursday, Friday, and Leil Shabbos. Yeah. Elamai, according to you, that's what should have been. So why, Elamai, according to you, you want 5 oines? So let them receive the Torah, Leil Shabbos. And then they'll be okay. You have Wednesday, half of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Leil Friday and Friday day. Leil Shabbos, you should be receiving the Torah. Mitzad, your 5 oines, Rabbi Akiva, we got to the finishing line, Leil Shabbos. What do you want to do, Leil Shabbos? Walk around Parkai alone with Garinim? Let them receive the Torah, Leil Shabbos already. Answers the Gemara, no. Amar Bitzchak, Lameroish Besesel Dibarti. Says the Novi, no. The Roish says the Maharsho, the first word that I said, Meroish, is not Beseser. Yeah? In other words, and the pasuk continues, Bimkoim Eretz Choshech. Hashem's first words would not be said by dark, not by night. Hashem wanted to send his message to the world, to the Jewish nation, by daytime, not by nighttime. Maharsha explains why. He said because this way the Goyim cannot claim, oh, we didn't know. We were sleeping, we're watching TV. We didn't know Friday nighttime. It was daytime. Any guy who really wanted to could come along, like the Neshamas of the Gerim. Elamai, you see that daytime, everyone got the chance. I have another shot to add on the Maharsha, Birshus. I once went to a Kiruv seminary to teach how to do Kiruv in Eshet Torah. So they said very funny things. They proved to the people in Discovery that there was Matan Torah, but then the people say maybe they were hallucinating, maybe they were on drugs, maybe this and that. So this way they can tell it was nighttime. So they didn't know what's going on. It was nighttime. Night you can't see as clear. So that's the answer for these people. Daytime, by broad daylight, you can't miss it. Shabbos morning. They're not even cars running around. Weiter, okay? Frag de Gemore, velitbelu betzafra de Shabboso, velikablu Torah betzafra de Shabboso. In other words, again, the question is, why couldn't they do the Tvila on Shabbos morning, right? And again, receive the Torah Shabbos morning. Why did they make them dafka do the Tvila Leil Shabbos? Explains Rashi, look at Rashi, Litvilu b'Shabboso. Lama hu tzarich lered b'ashkomo l'yoim. Yipal chashech b'daled. Again, the same question. Litvilu b'Shabbos shachris. In other words, similar question. Again, let them have Tashmish the whole of Wednesday, according to Rabbi Akiva. You want 5 oines? There you are. Hey, let's go. Thursday, Friday, Leil Shabbos. Okay, except you don't give the Torah on Shabbos. Not nice to give Torah at night. Fine. But still you have an oino, right, which is still unclean. One of the 5 oines that it's still in the body of the woman, right? Let her go to the mikveh Shabbos morning, right? So she's gone to mikveh post 5 oines, which is what you want, Rabbi Akiva, right? And receive the Torah Shabbos morning, mikveh 9 o'clock, Matan Torah 9:30. Have the Gabbai print it, why not? It's a similar question, but we're overriding the giving Torah by night. Give the Torah by day, and still have 5 full liners. Elamai, we're all the time pushing like Chachamim. There is a sinister idea all the time that there is an agenda against Rabbi Akiva. Chachamim really thinks there should be 6 liners. That's why we're attacking Rabbi Akiva all the time. Answers the Gemara, no. Amar Bitzchak, shelo yolalo holchin lekabel Torah, v'lalo holchin letvila. We don't want to create a mess. We don't want to have a situation. Some women are going to mikveh, other ladies are already going to Matan Torah. The husband is waiting for the wife. Hey, dear, why are you taking so long? Even now you're late. In other words, we want everyone to be ki'ish echad b'lev echad. Everyone should be going together, Torah to Matan Torah. That's why Shabbos morning was not a good day to go to mikveh. So according to Rabbi Akiva, yes, they had one oina which was like a blind spot, empty. Leil Shabbos. In the Chinami, it's 5 oinas. They could have in theory be okay until Leil Shabbos already, Friday night. Elamai, for those various reasons, we waited that night and we received the Torah tomorrow. Torah only by daytime, right? And the Tvila shouldn't be messed up with the Matan Torah like your whole marketplace. That's why, but really, Rabbi Kiva sticks to his guns. Mitzad the tumah v'tahara, 5 oinas. Then we have to wait, Leil Shabbos, because of those reasons we mentioned. Very good. Now we are very, very, very ripe to understand the fourth opinion. I'm sorry to not update the chart, but you're going to add your own little addition. We are, where are we, Rabbi Yisai? Shabbos, Pei, Vov, Amud Beis, right? In the Shura Litvila. But yeah. More or less like 10 lines. 10 שורות מלמעלה פחות או יותר. Omar B'chia Rabbi Abba, Omar B'Yochanan, Zu Divrei Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva. Up until now, we heard Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Lozo ben Azariah. But the Chachamim, Aval Chachamim, Sheish Oynish Shleimus Bayinan. Chachamim simply say, yes, Rabbi Akiva, you are right that when did Moshe stop them? That when was the beginning of Yemei Prisha? Cut off point, stop Tashmi, separate the beds. It was Wednesday morning. You're right, Rabbi Akiva. But let's count. Half of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, day, and Leil Shabbos. That's 6. In other words, really, there were 6 onos between the Prisha and the Matan Torah. And Chachamim do not believe that the only reason it was giving by days because of the Torah should be given a broad daylight. The reason why they waited the extra Leil Shabbos was because of Tahara. Because really the sperm has to be in her body for 6 onos in order to be there long enough that afterwards it's not Mitame anymore. The facts are like Rabbi Akiva that Wednesday morning Moshe told him to stop. But there were 6 onos. Here, count. The 6 onos are for Tahara reasons. So that's a fourth opinion. You have to have 6 full onos in being in the body of the woman, that only after that the zera is already incompetent, is already relevant, and if she went to mikveh, let's say, yeah, according to them, they could have gone to mikveh Friday morning, Shabbos morning, possibly, if they wanted to, yeah, yes, and a chanami, and then they would be already okay. Shabbos morning, they're not concerned about that. Shabbos morning, they could go to mikveh, and at that point, if anything happens, preferably go before. But if she saw Zera coming out Friday night, Leil Shabbos, according to Chachamim, would be an issue. And that woman would have to go Shabbos morning, and yeah, so we'll wait for her. Okay, weiter. So these are all the opinions. Now we're going to stop the Cheshbonis a little bit. It's something now a little bit easier about the nature of the Zera. Amar Rav Chizda. Rav Chizda is commenting about the Mechlokes Tanoim. Mechlokes Shapir Shamina Isha. The whole machlokes between the different opinions, mainly Rabbi Lozo ben Azariah. Rabbi Lozo ben Azariah is giving very short period of time, right? Less than 2 days, 2 days or 1 point something days to be in the body of the woman. After that, the zera is already irrelevant, not mitame, right? That is only true Shapir Shemina Isha. If the zera came out of the body of the woman after Tashmish. Aval Pir Shemina Ish. Let's say the sperm came out of the man's body. Unfortunately, yeah, whatever, whichever circumstances, Tmeya Kozman Shehilacha, which means as long as the zera is moist, is wet, and therefore he can have a baby from that, then at that point it's still metame that's longer than the woman. In other words, now this more can understand today very well. Today they have sperm banks. And they told me that guy, my Shver's friend, yeah, they put it in very, very, very cold temperature, I think. Yeah, in freezers and fridges, yeah. In other words, sperm can stay for years, conceptually. Oh, here we are. In other words, in the body of the woman, because it was inside her body, that makes it very warm, very stuffy, and very hot. After that, it's already garnished, says Rabbi Lozo ben Azariah. But if it came out of the man's body straight into the outside world in a beged, then it can stay as long as it's wet, as long as it's moist, it's metamer. That's what he holds, which could be longer than 2 or 3 days even. Like today, we see it can be years conceptually, as long as it's lach. As long as it's lach, if you maintain the lachus, the moist somehow, it's still metamer. It's not related to time. It's related to its state of being. Massive of Sheshes is challenging this from a brisa. A challenge from a brisa. The whole beged, the pasuk says, the whole beged, the whole or, asher yeh all of shichvas zera. Any beged, any cloth or any leather that has zera. Unfortunately, the man had zera coming out on something. What is it? It's metame. Prat. What do you mean it's on top of the beged? And if it's on the, I don't know what, on I don't know, floor, then what? What are you coming to say? Well, what's the mute? Prat l'shichvas zera shehi srucha. Bear that in mind. Srucha means stinks. A shichva zera, which is already srucha. Now, the shichva zera starts to stink, so it says in the Mephoshim here, after Tashmish. The zera comes out in Tashmish, it doesn't have that smell. The smell only starts later. So there are three stages. There's a fresh shichva zera by Tashmish. Later on, it's srucha, but srucha is still wet. Srucha is still wet and still functional. And look what it says. Shichva zera shisrucha. Once the shichva zera becomes srucha, disgusting and stinking, at that point it's not metame anymore. So what's the problem? My love shapir shaminaish. Even if it came out of the man's body, it's still moist, but it's already seruach. Seruach is a stage before dry. You just told me that as long as it's wet, it's metame. Let's say it's wet for 5 days. I'm kicking a number, yeah? And the srucha is 3 days. You told me 5 days, as long as it's wet and somehow alive. Now the Brisa says otherwise. It says no. Once it's seruach before it dries out, already then it stops being metame. So you're wrong. And says the Gemara, lie. Simple answer. Shapir shamina isha. No. Haha, shkoyach. No. And no. When it came, the pasuk is excluding, the drosha is excluding one from the woman's body, which means once it's out of the woman's body, and it was there in very hot temperature. What did we say before? Today they put the man's sperm, in case I'm not going to halachic questions here, of the sperm bank in cold weather, right? In cold temperature. The woman's body is hot temperature. So there it starts being masriach very early, according to Rosa Ben Azariah, after a day and a half, 2 days. So then says the Torah, once it's out of her body, you know that after a certain amount of time, depends who you ask, 2, 3, 4, all the different opinions. Once it's out of her body after X amount of time, it's masriach, then it's not matame anymore. That's a woman. The man is a whole different story. If the man emits it, unfortunately, onto the cloth, into something, then as long as it's, even though it's masriach, as long as it's still wet, it's still metame. Different. Now, frag the Gemara an interesting question. So what did we say basically? Let's just summarize, not summarize, just repeat one point. The woman's body makes sense naturally, scientifically. It's very hot temperature. Yeah, it starts decaying, stinking much quicker, right? You put where do you put everything to keep it fresh? All the fruit and vegetable and the meat? In the fridge. In the freezer, we don't have to go to the hospital. So now, frag the Gemara of Popper. Sadly, yeah, a zera of a Jewish man is in the womb of a Goyish woman. Never happens in reality, but this is science fiction. Yeah, halevai, excuse my sarcasm. Why are we portraying such a case? I'm going to tell you soon. Mahu. The question is, a sperm, a zera inside a Goyish woman's body, is it the same as like by a Jewish woman's body? What does it mean? Soon we'll get the question. First of all, why can't we say something nicer? The zera of a goy in the body of a goyte. Why? Because we don't care. The zera of a goy is not metame. When I said goymer like zavim, zav is not shechva zera. It's a different kind of emission. And all goymer zavim, even if they never saw zera in their life anyway. A zera of a goy is not metame. The sperm of a goy, you're a frum guy working in a lab, and you have to touch the zera of a goy or move it, nothing happens. They're not metame. So that's when we ask a question, tumah v'tahara, we have to talk about a zera Yisrael, zera kodesh. That's metame. What's the story of being in the body of a goyish woman? What's the difference? Frag the Gemara. Yisrael the daigi b'mitzvahs chabil gufayu akum de lo daigi b'mitzvahs loy, which means Jewish people are more nervous. You think it's a joke? You think it's some kind of American comics? It's true. Because we are more doig b'mitzvahs, Rashi says charedim. We're always like more intense about keeping mitzvahs. So maybe that's our body temperature is hotter. I'm going to do mitzvahs, nervim, shkia, mikveh, the woman, right? Oh, lokus neiras, the cholent. So all this nervousness, which is good. You're over Hashem as long as it's within reason. And therefore, in such a matzav, a woman's body who's Jewish is warmer, hotter. So by her, it's 2 days. But maybe a Goyish woman, what does she do the whole day? Goes to the swimming pool, goes to the spa, goes to shtuyot. She doesn't have any real commitments, right? And therefore, what? Such a woman, a Goyish, by her, we say maybe it takes longer. Maybe by her, it's not as hot inside, so maybe it takes longer. On the other end, oidilma, or maybe we have the opposite svara. Chabil, by the way, means hot. Not mechabel. Chabil is hot, yeah? The body's hotter, so she's all excited. By mitzvahs, oidilma, or maybe, kemen achlin shkotzim ramosim chabel gufayu. On the other hand, the goyim have a disadvantage. They eat shkotzim ramosim. Somebody told me today it's in fashion in America to eat insects in all kinds of ways. It's a new fashion, Shem Yishmor. No gvul. So because goyim eat shkotzim ramosim, so the body gets hot. In other words, unpleasant. It's like more stuffy, more humid because of all the nonsense that they eat. So we're not sure whether the goyish body is hotter or the Jewish one. But it has to do with different natures. Now, and if you want to tell me that let's take the assumption like in a flow chart. Let's assume now, let's take the side that, yes, the body of the Goisha is warmer because she eats all that garbage of, shkotzim, ramosim, chazir, cats and dogs. Then they may behemamau. What would be the halacha if a Jewish man's sperm is inside the womb of a behema? What's the difference? Isha de isla prosdo masrachas. Aval behema de lesla prosdo loy. Which means a woman's body, when you're chosson, you learn it sometimes. Remember, they showed me the woman's body, there's a womb, and then there's like another corridor, and then you have the place, the oisamokum of the woman. There is a separation between the womb and the outside world. Clearly so, bein hashinayim. There's like a separation there. Of course, the zera goes through, but there's like a bit of a partition. There's where the zera ends up, and there is the in-between corridor. That's any woman, Goyish or Jewish. A behemoth doesn't have that. I'm not sure which behemoth they're talking about, a cow or a dog, I don't know. But behemoths have closer access between the outside world and the womb. And therefore, it's colder. A woman's body is more deep inside. There's an outside cold temperature, and her womb is more secluded. So that's why she's warmer inside, and it decays quicker. A behemoth's womb is closer to the outside, to the opening, and therefore maybe it's colder. Or dilma loishna. Or maybe it does make such a difference. Teiku, we don't know. Okay, that's a shaila. Now, what? I was wondering, that's a very good question coming from a geoinish neighbor. You have a non-from person, he's not worried about mitzvahs, but he doesn't eat treif. A lot of people are like that. Mikam Israel, they don't eat treif even in Chutz La'aretz. So that's a good question, I hear. So she'll be somewhere in between, I'm not sure. I hear the shaila. I like the shaila, I don't know the answer. My neighbor, he beats me, he stumps me. Okay, now what shall I say? And by the way, just to get it clear, the nafkamina la'aloch of all these weird cases is if somebody touches the shichva zera after it left the body of the behemoth or the goyish woman. You're from a gynecologist, whatever, you have a goyish woman, unfortunately the zera came from a Jew, and you're touching the zera, are you tomer or tor? That's a question. Yeah. He was there for 1.5 days. I learned the Gemara. I hold her Kabbalah Ben Azariah. 1.5 days is good enough. She's goyish. It's a good question. The shaila is about touching the zera. That's the shaila here. Ibana Beis Hamikdash, you're not going to have any Jewish men with goyish women, so it's just in theory that all this nonsense will stop. Bezos Hashem. Tanu Rabbanon. From now on, I wanted to ask you guys to bring tomorrow. Please bring your chumash. You don't have to bring it from home. Tomorrow we should have open chumashim. Okay. Basically, now we're going to see the machloikas, which we touched upon before, is going to come to life. Machloikas is about the itinerary, what exactly went on in the week preceding Matan Torah. When was the Torah given? What happened before Matan Torah is going to be a very clear, detailed machloikas over here that reflects on what we said before. Everything will be clear. Be'ezras Hashem. Tono bono. B'shisha b'chodesh nitno ser sadibos le'Yisrael. Tanakama says, when was the Torah given? Ask any kid in Gan, the 6th of Sivan. We all know that. Well, no. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Beshiva boy. Rabbi Yossi argues and says, Zayin Sivan. Zayin Sivan, everyone who has to eat cheesecake. Zayin Sivan is the day of Matan Torah, according to Rabbi Yossi. How did each one come to a different conclusion? Oh, that's what we're going to see now. Machlekes, remember, Rabbanan say the 6th of Sivan, Rabbi Yossi says the 7th of Sivan. Okay, now, how did they come to the Machlekes? Omar Rove. Rove is now analyzing the Machlekes. The Kula Alma beRosh Chodesh Osel Midbar Sinai. We all know the famous line, Vayichan Sham Yisrael Neged Ahar. The first thing they did when they came to Sinai, they all camped together. When was that? Both opinions agree that it was on Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Now, how do you know it's on Rosh Chodesh? It says over here about Matan Torah, it says, Bayom Hazeh Ba Midbar Sinai. On that day, they came to Midbar Sinai. It says about Kiddush HaChodesh earlier in Mitzrayim, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem Rosh Chodashim. Oh, when was that? Rosh Chodesh Sivan, 3 months before. In other words, when Hashem says to Moshe and Aaron, the Chodesh Hazeh Lachem, he meant Rosh Chodesh, right? Mal Halan Rosh Chodesh, Afkan Rosh Chodesh, which means we have a Gzera Shova, Hazeh, Hazeh. Since over there by Kiddush HaChodesh was obviously Rosh Chodesh, why Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu, Chazeh Bekadesh, right? This is what Hashem. Yeah, this is the new moon. So it was Rosh Chodesh. So too in 3 Matan Torah, when it says Hazeh, it means what? This is Rosh Chodesh. Everyone agrees that they arrived in Sinai and camped there on Rosh Chodesh. Okay. And another point which everyone agrees to, with the Kula Alma b'Shabbos nitna Torah l'Yisrael. Everyone agrees unanimously the Torah was given to Bnei Israel on when? Shabbos. Shabbos morning. Steve Hocha, it says over here, we all know, yeah, the 4th commandment, remember the Shabbos, to sanctify Shabbos. It says over there in Yetzias Mitzrayim, Moshe Rabbeinu told Bnei Israel, as they were leaving Mitzrayim, on Tesvav Nisan, he told them, remember this day, meaning this day, where we are today, remember this very day, right now, what we're experiencing, you should give it over to your children. And now in Matan Torah, they say, Yom HaShabbos, yeah? It says Hayom, in Matan Torah, what does it say Hayom? What does it say? Yom HaShabbos? Today is Shabbos. Which means the Gemara says Malalan bituma shel yom, afkan bituma shel yom, which means just like over there by Yetzias Mitzrayim, Moshe Rabbeinu is commanding Bnei Israel, remember the day, remember the day which we're experiencing now. So too, when it says Yom Shabbos in Matan Torah, it means this day. Remember Yom HaShabbos Hazeh. Remember the Shabbos which we're in right now. Yom Yom, same thing. So, what's a machlokes? So let's summarize. Everyone knows that mitzvah the calendar, we're playing 2 games here. The calendar and the days of the week. Mitzvah the calendar, everyone agrees they arrived in Sinai, but the foot of the mountain, below the mountain, Rosh Chodesh, Sivan. Everyone agrees that was the beginning of the journey. There's a lot of give and take, which we're going to learn now. At the end of the journey was when Matan Torah was on Shabbos. Shabbos day, the 7th day of the week. What's the argument? They argue regarding when was Rosh Chodesh. Simple. The question is, when was Rosh Chodesh? Was ER longer or shorter? Yeah, when was Aleph Sivan? As we all know, before there was a set calendar, and Rosh Chodesh was potluck. Yeah, it's either 1 day or 2 days, right? So now, Rabbi Yossi Soba, Bechad B'Shaba Ik Bayarcha. According to Rabbi Yossi, now we're going to follow the opinion of Rabbi Yossi. Says Rabbi Yossi, it's very symmetric and nice. Chad b'Shaba ikbayarcha, which means the Rosh Chodesh was nikba, Rosh Chodesh was decided, and Moshe and Aaron already knew about Kiddush HaChodesh and the Dayonim. They knew that this is Rosh Chodesh Sunday. So very nice. Sunday was Rosh Chodesh. Good. So now, 7 days after Rosh Chodesh, it's Shabbos. It's very nice and symmetric. Sunday Aleph, Monday Beis, Gimel Dalet, Zayin is the seventh day of Sivan, is the seventh day of the week. Rabbi Yossi is actually very nice and symmetrical. Now, before we continue, you have to understand what's the source of the Mechloekes brought down in Rashi. The pasuk says in Yisroi that you can take water. Please, anybody? You want to start? Yeah, water. Mine, thoughts are mine. Basically, it says that the mountain was covered with onon, with cloud for 6 days, and on the seventh day, Hashem called Moshe to come in. What does that mean? Big machloekes in Yuma Daf Daled. I saw this evening. One opinion holds that that's opinion of Rabbi Yossi. 6 days, the mountain was covered with onon, with cloud before Matan Torah, meaning they arrived on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The mountain was covered. The excitement was starting. On the seventh day, Hashem called Moshe. Doesn't mean only Moshe. Moshe got the cover to represent Klal Yisrael. He got closer than everybody else. Seventh day was Matan Torah. The other opinion says no. No. The other opinion says the Torah was given on Vav Sivan. I'll tell you a secret. The Chachamim believe that Rosh Chodesh was on Monday. That's what they've want. Yeah. Chachamim hold on. Those who argue on Rabbi Yossi, they say no. Monday was Aleph Sivan, so Shabbos at the end of the week was Vav Sivan, right? Now that pasuk of 6 days and 7 with the honor, nothing to do with that. No honor, no nothing. That pasuk took us post Matan Torah. The Torah was given Vav Sivan not on the seventh day. You know what? That seventh day when Moshe came into the cloud, that's after Matan Torah. How many days was Moshe in the cloud up in Shamayim? 40 times 3. That's besides the point. 40 days, right? The first 6 days, he was preparing himself to cleanse himself from all the food and drink. Yes, and make himself like a malach. On the seventh day, he got deeper into the cloud, deeper into the meditation of talking to Hashem. Okay? And the other opinion says he got into the chil v're'odo. He got into the state of mind of talking to Hashem, but that was past Matan Torah. And yes, it was only Moshe, not representing other people. It was his private journey. The 40 days had their own little unit of introduction of 6 days. But really, if you ask me about Matan Torah itself, say Chachamim, it was on the 6th day of Sivan. And everyone started on a Monday. That's in general. Now let's go back to Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi holds, nice and symmetric. Sunday is Aleph Sivan, base is Monday, boom, boom, boom. 7th day of Sivan is Shabbos. That's when they got the Torah. But now we're going to see how that works out according to the psukim. So let's see how it works out. Okay. Says the Gemara Azoi. Yeah, Rabbi Yossi Sovar, 4 lines from the bottom of the page. Sunday was when Rosh Chodesh was decided. Sunday was Aleph Sivan. On Sunday, he did not tell them anything. They got 1 day off. They were 2 weeks from the way. Give them 1 day to catch their breath. So on Sunday, Aleph Sivan, nothing happened. Okay? Betrei b'Shaba, we're going to see Rashi tomorrow, I'm afraid. Very, very important Rashi. Betrei b'Shaba, on Monday, which is Beis Sivan Omer Lehu, he told them, he went up to Shamayim to receive Hashem's proposal. You want to be my nation? You want to be my bride? That's where you're going to see the please bring for us from tomorrow. You can bring it from here, yeah? Basically, on the 2nd day, he told them, Hashem spoke to Moshe, saying his message, please be my nation. Will you accept my offer? Monday night, as opposed to what we said before, he went down by night, according to this opinion. He conveyed the message, and all said, Naseh, yeah, we'll follow Hashem. 3rd day, Omar lo mitzvah sagbolo. On the 3rd day, he went again early morning on the 3rd day, which is Tuesday, mitzvah sagbolo. He told them, what's sagbolo? The mountain is off limits already now, right? And that was on the 3rd day, not Prisha. Don't get confused. People get confused with that. On the 3rd day, Gimel Sivan, nothing to do with the relations with the woman. Mitzvah Sagbala. From now on, guys, stay out of the mountain. Now, Ba'arba Ovid Prisha, very good. On the fourth day, Dalit Sivan, he went back again. We'll see tomorrow Rashi, now the back and forth. And then he told them, basically, are you willing to stay away from the mouth? And they said, yes. On the fourth day, which is Wednesday, then he told them, stay away from your wives. And this is exactly Rabbi Yossi, which we've seen all along. When was the Prisha? On Wednesday. Who's friendly with Rabbi Yossi? A lot of people. Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Kiva, and Chachamim. They all believe that the Prisha was done on Wednesday. So we have 3 clean days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what we want, right? The Rabbanon, I don't have time. Okay, tomorrow. I'm sorry, I have to go. This is the middle of the suspense, but tomorrow we're going to see it in the Chumashim with Rashi Be'ezras Hashem. Atzlocha Uvrocha. Yeah, we'll see how Matan Torah schedule the Rabbi Yosef Chachamim. Maybe I'll make a chart. Daven for me, I'll have time. Thank you very much for everyone on YouTube. Thank you very much to those who watch us on Torah anytime.